Back with our final game of the season. We are still, somehow, in contention for promotion. Welcome back. Episode 6, Club 3. We have our final game of the season, which is against Estrella de Amadora. Sad. We've played one whole game since you were last with me. It's up here, and I'll give you the highlights in that game. I'll show you the goals. Why not? We've also got two little players that are coming in to join us. But before we go and recognise them and say hello to them, I will ask if you can do me the favour of liking, subscribing, showing your support on the channel. That'd be greatly appreciated. And I suppose what we got to do now is have a little look at what happened in our game against Rio Ave. So they're currently second in the league. We did manage to beat them, as I'm sure you've figured out. So we did take the lead just after half time. Maria with the ball in the middle, good ball through to Gonçalo, a good block from their defender, but it just put it into Yuk's path, and he kicked it behind the goalkeeper. Ball out again on the right hand side. Yuk puts it back to Marazzi, back into Yuk, ball all the way up to the back post, and then Maria, instead of trying to score for himself, nods it back across the goal and leaves an easy finish for his striker. But I'm going to go back and watch this again because I was pretty impressed, because their goalie ran to try and close him down to make sure he didn't have an easy shot, and he had the presence of mind to just head it back across goal for an easy finish. Still flashing at the bottom, not sure why. Look at that. Defence were asleep, didn't have a clue what was going on. He did. We scored the goal. And then Bilal scores a pretty good free kick, to be fair, to pull it back to 2-1. Give me a little bit of squeaky bum time right at the end of the game. We do have two new faces coming to join us for the start of next season. We have João Madureira, who actually was our player with San Joanense. He's only coming in on loan. We're not playing a vast amount of his loan, but my idea with bringing him on loan was the fact that hopefully we'll be able to secure him permanently from that. But we know who he is. We know he's a good player. Alongside that, we're also bringing in Marko Stamenic. I thought the name rang a bell to me, and I couldn't figure out why. I wasn't sure. And then it occurred to me. I signed him for Mönchengladbach on last year's Doleboy for about £15 million. It doesn't look like he's going to be the same player that he was, but I signed him because he was a Kiwi, and I like Kiwis. I think they're top fellas. So it'd be good to see what he can do for us. I don't expect him to be kind of one of the best players in the world, but he has got potential to be a good player in the division above us. So bringing him in, his wages are relatively high. I think it was 1.3k that we're signing him for. But no, he's not going to officially join us until the start of July, but we've got him on trial basically until he signs a contract for us permanently. So he won't be able to play, but he is here training and learning what we do. For the final game, we need to beat Penafiel and Academio to one of the top 4 spots. We are playing Estrella, as we covered earlier, who are currently in 11th. Academia are playing Porto away, well, Porto B, should I say, who are currently in 13th. And then the other one is Penafiel, who are playing Benfica B, who are the team that are currently top of the league. If you can hear scratching, the dog's currently in the room with me. It would be preferable if she stopped. But she doesn't appear to want to. We'd realistically need to win and both of those to lose to get automatic promotion. We can squeeze into the playoff spots. If they draw and we get a really comfortable win, we can sneak in that way as well. But it's just preferable for the results to just go in our favour. Our team for the final game will be Ferreira in goal, Rodriguez, Martins, Ryu and Bertrand as the back 4, Castro at the base of midfield with Marazzi and Vitinho ahead of him, Yuk on the right, Maria on the left and Leandro as our striker. The good thing about this, we've got a lot of links that have popped up. Bertrand and Maria weren't friends before, but apparently now they are. Our centre-backs are building a partnership together, and a whole midfield 3 as well, so it's good to see those little links coming together. I have recently offered Castro a new contract, which he took, so he's not being paid a fat lot, but his value is 130k to $1 million. However, this contract did have locked in a minimum fee release clause for clubs in a higher division. So again, if we get ourselves promoted, that will nullify that, because there's no one higher than the top division, and that's where we'll be. So If we don't manage it, I've got to try and offer him a new contract. Sharpish. I will move myself out of the way. I'll put myself over here for today's episode, just so you can see what's happening with the other two games. Penafiel are drawing, as are Academio currently. We do have the teams behind us, but it's irrelevant. If we don't win, we're not going up. So we need to make sure that we win our game first and foremost, and then we can look at what the other teams are doing. Penafiel are currently beating Benfica B 2-0 as well, somehow. Barlois is putting a decent cross towards the centre of the goal, and it's headed away. Amador have picked up the loose ball and kind of just passing it between themselves. We want to make sure we get that ball off them. Don't let them be comfortable in possession. I'm not a fan. I can push up our Rebale, and good save from the goalie at near post. Also, I've realised that between these two episodes, I had the votes, as you do for the manager, for Player of the Year, Young Player of the Year, and Goalkeeper of the Year, and each one of those had a player from our team. If I remember rightly, Player of the Year was our right back, Rodriguez. Young Player of the Year was Yuk, who we've currently got on loan from Nacional, and obviously Goalkeeper of the Year was Ferreira. So I wasn't able to vote for them, unfortunately. But I made sure to do the scummy thing and vote for the weaker one higher. It's just what you do. There's only 3 people to vote between, and I was only able to cast 2 votes. We have gone past the hour mark. So just to pause and not look where we are. Academio are currently losing. So if we did manage to get a win in this game, we'll find ourselves in 4th place. So we need to make sure we push for that. To push for it is what I'm not sure exactly how to go about. I could just throw another forward on. I could realistically just throw Castro up top because he can play there. He can kind of just play everywhere. He's pretty good. he's pretty good. He's a pretty good player. I am a big fan. Do you know what? I'm just going to bung him up top. We'll see what he does. We've left these centre mids as a deep line playmaker and a box to box, so they should still be fine. Our wingers are still inverted forward, so everything else is exactly as it was. It's just that we've slapped our centre mid, holding mid. That's the word I was going for. Straight up top. We'll demand some more from us. We'll encourage. Look at them little green faces. I'll make a pause now. So we've got 10 minutes left. Still no substitutions made, and still no further highlights. We don't really have anyone that we can do in that regards. Okay, I'll bring Vitinho off. I'll put Castro into the centre mid. Again, he can play a lot of those roles very comfortably. So we'll leave him for one of them. Yuk hasn't played particularly well, so we'll put in Pitbull out on that right-hand side. There's another striker on the pitch. Technically got 4 people that can play up front on this game at the moment. I'm going to move us to positive. We haven't necessarily been playing poorly, we've just not played well enough as we need to. We'll leave, as we say, that third sub. I'm not sure what I want to make with it. We're running past 10 minutes now. It's still in our favour. We just need to win. Just get a goal. Oh, that highlight almost got me excited. That is such a disappointing way to finish the season. Oh, everything went in our favour. Everything. Safe to say the fans weren't best pleased. Our only benefit is the fact that Academio did pull it back, so it ended up being a draw. So I'd have to check what the rules were there. But even if we did score a late goal, it may have been that they're finished ahead of us anyway. So I'll have a little look. But Nelson Peixoto said, our strikers were about as much use as a handbrake on a canoe. I have never heard of that before, but it pretty much summed up their usefulness. Ferreira, defence were good, less said about the rest of the team, and Alvaro Brandal just said, that was so dull. It's kind of right, to be fair. But you know what? Half a season under our belt, or just over half a season, and we've taken us from loitering in the danger zone to almost getting promoted. So I'm very happy with how that went. We'll build now for next year. Try and bring in some of our loanees, because we're missing out on that. We've got 3 of them that are about to expire, who I'm not able to offer contracts for at the moment because we're incredibly poor. But yeah, I think that would have been very fortunate for us to have picked up a promotion. Our season review is back to being vaguely exciting. We have a little bit of ticker tape in the background, but no success necessarily to live from or thrive from, should I say. We've had a little, well, do you know, let's have a look at our signing. So, Marazzi's the guy that we bought in. The board are content with that signing. We also brought in Luis Gomez on a free. I didn't care about him. Paleo Maria gave us a C. Fabio Pitbull was brought in kind of before us, but he came in during our time, as did Nelson Ricardo. Outside of that, they're not giving us reactions to these. I'm assuming it's because we didn't sign them, which is fair enough. And sales, Boubacar Hane, they again gave a C to, so there's not really much excitement from transfers. Avoiding relegation is all they expected from us. We actually finished 8th. I have looked at the rules. It made me more annoyed, I've got to be honest. What the ruling is that they do it against results between the two teams. So if I move myself back over here again, actually I'll move myself up here just for the time being. What those results were was most recently a 2-0 win for us at home. And then prior to that was a 3-1 win away, which puts the head-to-head firstly on goal difference, which, needless to say, was even because it was 3-3 across the two legs, and then puts it on away goals scored, which we had 1 and they had 0. So if we'd have scored that goal, we would have been in the playoffs. So admittedly, it's only 1 more game, so it's not guaranteeing promotion, but it would have still left us with something more to fight for, and we wouldn't have been doing this season review. Would have been back and all excited next episode, but don't worry about it. It's fine. We'll move on. Taka to Portugal. They wanted us to reach the 4th round. I got them to the semi-finals. I bet they were over the moon. B-. Of course. Moments to remember. A 3-0 win against União Lamas, in which Antunes got a brace and Ryu scored 1. Match to remember was a 1-0 against Casapia. Couldn't tell you. And goal of the season was Diego Castro in a game against Benfica B. It is a perfect finish to an excellent team move, scoring an effort from 21 metres, which curled past the goalkeeper. Let's have a little butchers. We have the ball on the right-hand side. Rodriguez puts it back to Vitinho, back to Rio, and then across to Castro. Takes a touch, bends it in. That is a pretty nice goal, to be fair. Our finances have all had an upturn, which is very good. Sponsorship, we gained an extra 50k, not 500k, an extra 50k. Broadcast revenue went up 120k. Corporate and hospitality doubled, almost, to a dizzying 4,000. Competition prize money went from 13.3 to 356, and our matchday commercial went from 55 to 40. Other way around. So everything's jumped up. It's probably because as well, last season they had been promoted, so they've came up as a promoted team this year. Nearly done so again. So I'm pretty confident with how we're playing, and I feel that we might be able to do the same again. But I don't know. We'll see what the wages let me do, because I'm a little bit concerned that I've signed quite a few players that are good, really good, but I'm going to lose out on the depth, which is kind of what I want to avoid, because we need more than 3 players. Our lineup for the year was Fabio Ferreira in goal, Rodriguez, Martins, Ryu, Bertrand, Castro, Marazzi, Vitinho, Yuck, Maria, Leandro. As it was for the second half of the season, when we absolutely slapped it. Accolades. I won the Manager of the Month for February. How very exciting. And Ferreira broke the clean sheet record with 15. We'll go to competition awards, of which there are none. And then club awards. Rodriguez wins Fans Player of the Season. Young Player of the Season was picked up by Jin Young. Signing of the season was Marazzi. Goal of the season was Castro, which we just saw. Our top scorer was Antunes with 16. Most assists with Antunes with 9. I believe if we were on the last screen that, Yun also had 9 assists, but for some reason it doesn't fancy telling us about that. Most Player of the Match awards was Rodriguez, as was his highest average rating. And passes completed was Marazzi with 77 every 90 minutes. So that's quite a lot of passes. The board have set my initial budgets for next year. We've got 18.25k to work with, which leaves us, at the moment, currently spending exactly that. So if I can maintain everyone's wages of what we're currently paying, then I'll have literally nothing to play with. But I won't look at bringing Vitinho back yet, because I know I've got 2 more centre mids coming in. And I'm pretty sure that Stomenkovic should be able to do one of them roles. We will look at bringing in Matis Ryu, but see if we can bring him in on a slightly lower wage. Oh, he's almost out of contract. Can we just sign Matis Ryu? Oh, even better. He wants to be an emergency backup as well. Happy days. What was I paying his wages? 800. Okay, so if I can match that, gas. He only wants a 2-year contract. I'll give you a 3-year contract, lad. Have a bit of this. Oh, he's on board. He's on board, guys. He wants a bit. Oh, look at that. Menice is with us next season. We'll have a little look at Yun now. This isn't what I was planning to do, but we might as well have a little look at loanees while we've got a little bit to play with. We've got a mandatory fee, so if I take that out, swap it in for a optional fee of the same value, or just a little bit less. See if they want to play with that. 66, 69. Do you know what? Just for the culture, 69k. We can optionally sign him at the end of next year. Hopefully we're promoted, and he'll be worth comfortably more. Frederick Bertrand, he's the one that I definitely want to bring in because he was sublime. Left back, brilliant. But as expected, they kind of want to play him. But obviously, I'm going to offer £0, and they're going to tell me where to go. Get stuffed, basically. Vasco Lopez, I don't think I'm going to look at bringing him back. So we've got Menice coming in at end of contract, providing he accepts us and no one else. Yin looks like he's coming back, and Bertrand isn't. So we've got 2 of the 5 that are coming back. I'm pretty happy with the team that we'll be able to build here. I'm going to try and get rid of a bit of the dead wood, and I'll be back with you at the start of next year. I hope you've enjoyed what we've managed to do, and I hope you're pleased with what we've built. A little bit frustrating to miss out on the playoffs in that final game. We are currently now the 11th best team in the league. If you remember, we were 15th. That was a very peculiar noise. If you remember, we were 15th. So we've done a lot there to build the team up, and we'll be looking at improving that further this window. So I hope you'll be back with me at the start of next year. And if you are missing my face and you don't want it to end, click on one of the items on screen now. It's been an absolute treat having you here.